And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Chilly it is. It will be colder as the week progresses, but right now we're sitting at 45. Cold temperatures in store for us as tonight we'll dip down to the freezing mark at 32, and then on Wednesday night it looks to be somewhere around 29. Now again, as I've mentioned before, make absolutely sure that you've tested your heat between now and then. If you haven't turned it on, do so this morning. It always has dirt and stuff that when you turn it on has a smell to it. Get that out of the way so you can open up your windows if need be. So if that happens, make sure of that. Our high today, 58. We'll have gusts of somewhere around 25 miles an hour, so it will make it extremely, well, let me just say it this way, it'll feel colder than it is. That wind always bites, doesn't it? It does. How do you feel today? I do hope good. We'll find out more about full moon on 5th. That's coming up on Thursday night. We'll have a special guest to talk about that here in just a little while after 7 o'clock when the morning show gets underway. Hope everything's good in your world. Today is Halloween. I cannot stress about being a little bit slower in your travels. Well, a bunch of kids that are out and about everywhere. They're excited. They get candy. They'll be that way all day. So drive slower, leave early, whatever it is you have to do. And watch these residential neighborhoods. Kids will dart out and never even think about what's in front of them. They just think the next door, the next candy. They're having a good time, so keep that in mind. Let's go to Collinsville now to First Baptist Church. Got a little message for us.
Have you ever been caught doing something wrong and apologize for it in an effort to just stay out of trouble? You think if I just say I'm sorry, things will be all right and we can just move on. I can remember my mom was good at knowing when I might do this. She would catch me doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing, and I would just say, "Mom, I'm so sorry." And sometimes that would be true. I was sorry. But sometimes I would only say that because I knew she was probably about to light me up with a switch. In Romans chapter 13, the Apostle Paul gets so practical when it comes to our response to authority. In verse 15, he says, "Therefore, it is necessary to submit to authorities, not only because of possible punishment, but also because of conscience." This thing of conscience is not so we won't feel guilty about what we've done, but so that we might keep a clear conscience before God. This kind of submission helps us with that. If we avoid going against the authorities that God has placed in our lives, we can have a clear conscience. Paul goes on to say in verses 6 and 7, "This is also why you pay taxes, for the authorities are God's servants who give their full time to governing. Give everyone what you owe him. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. If revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If honor, then honor." Just being obedient in all of these areas can serve to help us have a clear conscience before God. And we all know there's nothing like a clear conscience. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. A few folks up and stirring now as we get this day underway. Up from Louisville, Philadelphia, I see Clarkdale up, and Adam Mack. How are you doing there? Terry, so many of you. Hope you're feeling well. As we start looking at headlines on this Halloween morning, I often wonder how we have to protect ourselves from ourselves. Well, the federal government is what I'm referring to as Texas. A judge has ordered to stop the federal government from removing the razor blade surrounding Texas where immigrants get in. The federal government wants to remove it to where it's, well, more easily for illegal immigrants to enter the United States. Now, please tell me how that makes sense. You have a fence that keeps people and things out. The fence is put up because people are drowning. Almost makes you think they want illegal immigrants here, doesn't it? I'll let you do the thinking on that. I can't spell it all out, but Lord have mercy. This will probably, I'm not sure sometimes that stories aren't, what is the word I'm looking for? Overexpanded. Maybe there is a lack of this, but I've never used it. I may need to because I do have a lack of hair, but they're saying that a drug called minoxidil, if I pronounce that correctly, it treats thinning hair for men and women. There's becoming a shortage of it across America. This will probably make that more expensive and harder to get. Usually drives the price up when you tell somebody they can't have something. Just remember how the car prices shot $10,000 to $12,000 up. And you no longer argued about what the sticker said. You just paid it or paid more. There's a lot of truth to that. Now, I only know this guy because I think it was a movie. Or maybe, yeah, it was one of those celebrity shows. And I'm sure Odie is just a big fan of his. Flavor Flav.
I got me a clock.
You got you a clock. And he is the rapper, and as Odie just pointed out, that wears the clock. I listened to this morning just to make sure that it was not anything peculiar, but he had the honor of the Bucks-Hawks game, basketball, to do the national anthem, and I thought this is going to be rap. No, he sang it normal. It wasn't like any other version I've heard. I'm not running him down, but it wasn't rap, and it wasn't like the normal. He didn't do a bad job. It was just different. I think he can only rap, is what I'm getting at.
Well, it's got music, and that's the way.
Yeah, and this was a cappella. This was a little bit different. He done it a cappella, and I'm sure that's different. But he didn't rap. I'd really expected a rap out of that. He seems like a funny guy. I mean, really and truly, on everything I've ever seen him, he cuts up, he smiles, and he's 6 Grammys, y'all. 6. So he's done something in life. Let's see what else we've got. As we go to, and this is bad, as people, UCLA, as they go to play a game, they come back to the locker game and, well, everything they've got is stolen from the locker room. I'm sure that this is not the first time in America this has happened, as thieves waited for players to walk out from high schools to colleges, probably even higher than that. How do we say it? Security, security, security. It's bad that we live in a nation that we have to have that on everything nowadays. We do, though. So what is, you always think that, Odie, do you listen to podcasts?
No, not. Oh,
He's not a big one. He's not a big one. There's a lot of people that have to have their fix of a podcast. And to hear the talk, you would swear, well, the number one thing that everybody wants to hear is true crime. And mostly women listen to that, is what they'll put out. Maybe it is more women, but as you break this down, that's not really the number one format of podcast. As we really get to the top ranking ones, it will fall under comedy, entertainment, also politics, ranking in the top. But there are those that love those crime stories. There's a lot of people making a lot of money off of it out there. Let's see what else we've got this morning. Israel is pushing deeper into Gaza. They've got it ready. They're moving in. Still, a lot of people don't like it, but it will be okay. Let's see. As we look at this, Colorado is where we go. And I guess if this had to be a good ending to something, this is the best way it could have ended. They found a man at a Colorado adventure park in the bathroom dead. He was dressed in full riot gear. Let me word it that way, riot gear, with an AR-15 against the wall. He had taken his own life. Apparently, he had thought about taking others' lives. Took his own instead. If it had to end, that's the best way that it could be, isn't it? What goes through these people's mind that want to harm others that have never hurt anybody? Innocent people. I will never understand this. And then off the cuff, I read this morning. You remember the main killer, who I'm talking about? His family had turned him in just a little bit before that for threats of doing something bad. Apparently nothing was done to him. Oh, boy. Let me see here. I got a message. Let me see what that was. Let's see. We have a structure fire in the 2000 block of Highway 19 South. So we could be more to that than is meeting the eye. But we have a fire right now. Again, let me back up and I'll get the rest of this in just a few moments. Structure fire, 2000 block, Highway 19 South. So I will get back to that in a moment. That was some breaking things that I got a text from someone that was in that area. We'll get the rest of that and what's going on with that in just a moment as we begin this morning. We'll be right back as we continue to go deeper into the weather. It's going to be cold, and we'll tell you more about that here in just a sec. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Philadelphia Gun & Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun & Pawn.
Need an expert to repair a rock peck or cracked windshield? Call Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Welcome back, and as we mentioned a moment ago, I just gotten in that there was a possible fire in the 2000 block of Highway 19 South in the southeast area. There's some other situations going on with this, and I highly urge you to stay away from this area at this moment. We got deputies that are responding to the area, and we have fire department staged before they move in. There's more to the story that I don't know at this point, and I just want to give the facts of what we do know at this point. But again, stay away from the 2000 block. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick here and pull this up to give everybody an example of where this is. This is just one of these live things, so y'all have to forgive me as Highway 19 South. I'm not sure that's going to go right. No, it didn't. It took me into Highway 19.
It's gonna be near the.
What's it near? See, as we'll look at this, right there where you would turn where the, and let me pull this up here and show everybody. This is where southeast, that's the 2300 block, so we go back to here. This is going to be the 18, so it's going to be somewhere in between
Right by Wilkerson Loop.
Wilkerson Loop. Southeast Supply. Let me see what that address is. That's the 2100, and I'm looking for. Let me go back here and look at what I'm looking at. So it will be just right somewhere along in here. I'm going to believe, yeah, right along in here, along where Southeast Storage is. Avoid this area if you can. Again, we don't know many details. We do know that there is a fire, and I'll hint at this because I can't back it up at this point. Possibly some gunfire has exchanged in that area. We will not know until deputies get on scene. But there is a fire, possibly a situation there, and Sheriff's Department en route. As we get more details on that, we will get that to you. So just use caution as you're going to work. Don't stop, don't look, keep going. It's just best to stay safe when we get to things of that nature. Let's get into our forecast now, and if we get an update on that here in just a few moments, we'll pass that information along to you. All right, let's get to the forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go to our record highs and record lows back in 16, it was 91 degrees on this day, a far cry from where we are this morning, sitting at 45. 52, we had a low of 24. Now, as we move forward to look at this is what we're looking forward to, and this is old. We're only going to get to 58 today. The National Weather Service did not update this page, so this one is not current. But Alabama is, as we look at this, as Demopolis, sitting at 58 degrees today for a high, 59 through Tuscaloosa. And that's going to be a carbon copy basically across the state of Mississippi as it is there in Alabama. We will see Birmingham at a cooler 56. As we get toward the Mississippi River, we'll get around 59, 60 degrees. Now, let's get into a little bit of this of what we're looking for on frost this morning as we go back here to take a look at what's going to happen on Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning when you're waking up. Here's the line right through Highway 16. It will follow that line from the Bama state line through Scuba across to DeKalb to Philadelphia and on across as we see it making its way toward Leake. These areas here in Scott County is north of there. Leake County is going to be involved in that right there. All of that area north of there is going to be colder, could be below freezing. As we go south here in the Meridian area, we're looking at 32 or above, right at the freezing degree mark. Now, this will change as we get into the next night where we're expecting 29 in the Meridian area. We're looking at significant temperatures as we'll look at Louisville. Look at this, the northwest corner of Neshoba County as well as Leake County. This is going to be bad cold as we look at that at the Delta up through Columbus there, almost to Columbus Air Force Base. This will be significant weather. We'll get the temperatures on all of this and watch this closely. Now, the Meridian area, which includes all of East Mississippi, when I say that, will be in an elevated threat. Below freezing, 29 to 32 in that area. And then south to Hattiesburg will be a little bit warmer there with temperatures above freezing, but still cold as we look at that frost. That's nippy. As we look across the Bama state line, we see here, protect your outdoor pets. Make sure to do that. That line from Tuscaloosa due east across the state of Alabama. We see that the temps will even be worse as we go into Thursday, Wednesday night. We'll see that in Alabama as well. Wildfire conditions. We are at a level 3 for the Meridian area for today. Look at that. It's bad. We got a lot of wind. Do not burn. This will take up all of this. So they can spread rapidly with this fire and wind all mixed. Stay away from it. Still, we will have Wednesday night a level 1 there. So be careful on that as we watch that. Wildfire conditions in Alabama, not much differently on that either as we watch that also. So watch all of this stuff. It's going to be rough for the next couple of days. Here's what we've got now. We do see that the temperatures are going to change. Just because it's cold right now does not mean it's going to change. No, because we are the South. As we look to West Texas, warmer weather is on the way. Now, here's what we have for today. 58 for a high. We're down to freezing tonight at 32. We will move into tomorrow with a few degrees cooler at 55, and then below freezing tomorrow night at 29. It's going to be bad cold. Now, as we look to Thursday, when we'll have full moon on 5th, we're looking for high of 63 during the day. Wear a jacket. We'll get down to 33 before daylight hits, but maybe not too bad there during the nighttime hours. But just dress warmly. Wouldn't you hate to be a guitar picker?
Ooh, good.
I remember a concert we done when it was like 15. It was 80, and then it went to 15. I'll never forget that. We'll talk about that. 69 on Friday is the highs. We start to see things warm back up again. 69, Saturday, 74, into Sunday at 77. So we're back to summertime again. And then as we look forward, we'll get 75 by Tuesday, and then start going back down to the 60s. Nothing major. Look at this. Rain chances are slim to none. It looks like the 14th of November being our biggest chance of rain. We'll get up to a 41% chance. I'm not going to hold my breath because it could all subject to change. That's what I'm thinking so far. As we look at what's going on, this is updated. This is no longer. I forgot to change this. We're still seeing this threat here at a 40% chance of building. Now, this is officially the last day of hurricane season, as tomorrow that it goes away and becomes, as we're looking at the map here, this is what we're looking at right there. 40% chance there of this storm. This is gone. This is remaining. This is the last day of it. Tomorrow we move into tornado season, which should get the attention of everybody watching because the deep south is what we do. We deal in tornadoes. We'll be here 24/7 to watch it, let you know where it is in the relationship of where you live. You got to know, and that's what we're here for. As we turn to our fishing calendar, let's go out to Chet's Paint and Body there in the curve. They might paint today, but they're really getting lures together, aren't they?
Hey, they going fishing.
They're stringing up some new fishing poles. As we look at our major times to go fishing today, it looks like it's going to be, let's see here. Major time is going to be 3 o'clock this afternoon, about 10 after 3 to somewhere around 5 o'clock. Not bad at all. But again, as we look at this, even on the hunting side of this, we got gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Sustained winds today anywhere from 10 to 15, which makes it kind of tough if you're throwing a reel. If you're sitting in a tree, hello, hello, hello. It blows your scent everywhere. Your perfect time to hunt today. Your major time will be this afternoon around 2 o'clock, 2:15. Hit the woods. Be there probably by 2 o'clock, like things settle down, and you'll be good to about 4:30. Didn't say you wouldn't get cold, did I? Okay, maybe it's just me. There's tougher people than me nowadays. I get it. I used to could sit on a stand in 12-degree weather and come out and brag about it. Not anymore. Got a heat in that truck. Can I just crack the window? Drive it right up to the deer stand. People do that.
For your barrel to get
Yeah, just barely out the window there. And if you take some of that piping that you put around your pipe and put across your window, you can do this. Yes, I'm a cold freak. I can't help it. No more word of what we've got that's going on in the southeast area. And again, let's pull this back up. I want everybody to be aware of this as fire departments. We'll get more information on this as this comes about. If you're going to be on Highway 19, there is a fire in this area. Deputies are responding to this area. Could be more. Possibly a shot fired this morning. We're not real sure what happened. But we've got deputies. We have volunteer fire departments en route to that. So use caution on this area of Highway 19 as you're headed toward the southeast area, toward the school there. This is the main highway here. You'll see the flashing lights in that area. Just use caution as we'll get updates on this here in just a few moments. Let's see, we're sitting at 6:52. We're going to be back live here in just a second. As a matter of fact, well, 2, 3, we'll kill the feed and then we'll come back live. We only got like 3 minutes, so. Yeah, we'll kill it and we'll come back live here in just a second as we're getting ready for the morning show beginning at 7. We'll be back. Thank you for joining us. It all happens because of you. Thank you for being a part of it. We'll be back live in just a moment at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.